Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our annual Mass Interfaith Dinner, where we gather a very, very diverse set of our community members from all different walks of life and from all different backgrounds. And we'll be here for an evening where we're going to share our similarities and, of course, our differences as well that strengthen us. But before we start, I know what we're all thinking. What do an imam, a senator, a chaplain, a rabbi, and an assembly member have in common? Any guesses? Well, I have no idea, but I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Now, before we start, inshallah, we'll have a short recitation from Sheikh Ilyas Bannour.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإن طائفتان من المؤمنين اقتتلوا فأصلحوا بينهما بالعدل وإن طائفتان من المؤمنين اقتتلوا فأصلحوا بينهما بالعدل وأقسطوا إن الله يحب المقسطين. إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم ولا نساء من نساء عسى أن يكن خيرا منهن ولا تلمزوا أنفسكم ولا تنابزوا بالألقاب بئس الاسم الفسوق بعد الإيمان ومن لم يتب فأولئك هم الظالمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعض الظن إثم ولا تجسسوا ولا يغتب بعضكم بعضا أيحب أحدكم أن يأكل لحم أخيه ميتا فكرهتموه واتقوا الله إن إن الله تواب رحيم يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير صدق الله العظيم.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, and if two groups of believers fight each other, then make peace between them. But if one of them transgresses against the other, then fight against the transgressing group until they are willing to submit to the rules of Allah. If they do so, then make peace between both groups in all fairness and act justly. Surely Allah loves those who uphold justice. The believers are but one brotherhood, so make peace between your brothers and be mindful of Allah, so you may be shown mercy. O believers, do not let some men ridicule others, they may be better than them, nor let some women ridicule other women, they may be better than them. Do not defame one another, nor call each other by offensive nicknames. How evil it is to act rebelliously after having faith. And whoever does not repent, it is they who are the true wrongdoers. O believers, avoid many suspicions, for indeed some suspicions are sinful, and do not spy nor backbite one another. Would any of you like to eat the flesh of their dead brother? You would despite that, and fear Allah. Surely Allah is the acceptor of repentance, most merciful. O humanity, indeed, we create you from a male and a female. We made you into people and tribes, so that you may get to know one another. Surely the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous among you. Allah is true, all-knowing, all-aware.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I give you all greetings of peace. My name is Shafaya Alam. I'm part of the Mass Youth community here at Mass Queens. I just wanted to say how appreciative I am of all the different communities of faith. And despite our differences, we hope that this event can be as inclusive and beneficial for you all, as well as helping us create a fuller society, inshallah, God willing. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to a very special speaker. Her name is Sadat Mujovic. She is our New York PACE Director for Mass, and she has impacted the lives of many individuals here. Without further ado, I think she stepped out a little bit. Oh, there she is. All right, I'll give the floor to her.
والسلام على رسول الله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Good evening and welcome to the Muslim American Society of Queens at the Ibn Sina Center. It is an honor for me to welcome you here all at our Interfaith IFTAR dinner this Ramadan, the most important month of the Islamic calendar. Ramadan is a time when friends and family and communities come together to strengthen bonds of friendship and unity. In joining together, we deepen the understanding of our own and other faiths and activity, participate in each other's cultures and traditions. I hope this evening will allow us to discuss these shared values that have brought us together. We can listen and learn from each other as we all seek to build global community that respect every individual, seek common ground to work on problems that we collectively face regardless of our background. Our faith and culture differences can't be dividing elements, but instead bonding ingredients which encourage alliances, promotes living in harmony, and working tirelessly together to help those in need. Tonight, we have a very special program with many of our youth presenters. The theme this evening is the power of faith and community. I would like to share a beautiful quote with you. The believers in their mutual kindness and compassion and sympathy are just like one body. When one of the limbs suffers, the whole body responds to it with wakefulness and fever. This is by Bukhari and Muslim. From the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, until today, community has always been an integral aspect of Islam in our rituals, our values, and all aspects of our lives. Connecting with and doing good to one another is an important part of our faith. Alhamdulillah, I'd like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing us tonight to unite here this evening. I'd like to thank some of the key people who helped bring this program together. Thank you to the Mass Pace team who are always by my side in helping arrange the programs and events that we organize. Thank you to Hanan, thank you to Khadija for your dedication, and many thanks to the youth team and the volunteers for their hard work. Thanks to our imams, our religious leaders, Brother Hani, Sheikh Ilyas bin Noor, for both of their beautiful Quran recitation and enlightening us this Ramadan during our praying time. Thanks to our BOT members for their continuous support. Thanks to Dr. Akram, Dr. Hussein Ahmed, and to Brother Tahir Abdul Hadi for your leadership. Thanks to Brother Hussein and your team for your tireless efforts in keeping the center running smoothly. Thanks to my husband in always supporting the work that I do. You all play a pivotal part in helping bringing quality programs to our communities. And if I didn't mention your names, you are very much appreciated in the community for all your efforts that you do. I'd also like to thank Dino, who was catering our food this evening. His restaurant is called Paul's on Times Square on West 42nd Street. And lastly, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us and sharing this blessed time and breaking bread together with us. Please sit back and relax and enjoy the evening. Thank you so much.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Sadat, for that introduction. And now I'm honored to introduce Dr. Akram Kassab. Now, Dr. Akram Kassab, his bio could go on for a while, so we'll try to shorten it a bit tonight. Dr. Akram is a resident scholar here at Mass Queens. He has a PhD from Al-Azhar. He has over 20 publications. But over all of those credentials, we all know who Dr. Akram is. He's a pillar in our community. He's our teacher, and in particular our youth. And he's left a massive impact in this community, and he will continue to do so, inshallah. So introducing my teacher and my personal mentor, Dr. Akram Kassab.
We need you. Come. Yes. Can you say so? Yes. Okay. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وصلي وسلم على سيدنا رسول الله ثم أما بعد. يعني for my intention I wanted to speak English, but now I want to speak Arabic now. So I need Brother Marwan, he translate my speech because I wanted to say something quick, but maybe my English don't help me. فهبدأ بالعربية كده وانت كان الله في عونك. Are you ready? إن شاء الله عز وجل. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، الحمد لله وأصلي وسلم على سيدنا رسول الله ثم أما بعد. أولا أنا عايز أتكلم بالعربي لأني دي اللغة بتاعتنا كمسلمين. ليس معنى ذلك إن إحنا نضع اللغة الإنجليزية في جنب، لا أبدا، ولكن ينبغي أن تكون اللغة العربية موجودة واللغة الإنجليزية أيضا في نفس الإطار. Yes. One by one. Yeah.
So hopefully I'm able to articulate as well. We'll attempt to do it. Dr. Akram said that he wishes to speak in Arabic because Arabic is our language. And yes, English is our language as well. But the primary form of communication that we have as Muslims here is the Arabic language.
سأحاول أن أتكلم بالعربي لأني أنا عايز أصلا تبقى كلمة وحيدة. طالما الكل يتكلم بالإنجليزي يبقى في حاجة عربي موجودة بين الإنجليزية اللي هي دي الأصل، وإحنا بنعلم أولادنا اللغة الإنجليزية.
This is a nice test of my beliefs. But he said that everyone else will speak in English, so we'll have a word of Arabic in the middle, inshallah, and that will be his word.
Yes. الحمد لله رب العالمين. هنا كثير من الإخوة والأخوات مختلفين تماما، في اختلاف كبير. زرار أبيك دي فرانس.
Dr. Akram said, as he just said, that there are many differences between ourselves here.
اختلاف في اللون، في الدين، في العقيدة، في الباك جراوند، الخلفية، في اختلاف في كل شيء.
Okay, so differences in color, in religion, in ethnicity, and in all other categories.
واحنا كمسلمين يعني نؤمن بأن هذا الاختلاف سنة من سنن الله جل وعلا.
And as Muslims, we believe that these differences are one of the sunan, or the rules and the trends that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed in the universe.
ولذلك محاولة إن احنا نكون كلنا حاجة واحدة شيء صعب وشيء مستحيل.
So therefore, if we attempt to distinguish these differences, this is something impossible and something that's not in our favor.
الله سبحانه وتعالى علمنا ذلك في القرآن فقال: ومن آياته أن خلق لكم ومن آياته خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف ألسنتكم وألوانكم.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says this in the Quran, where He says that from His ayat, from His signs, is your creation in different colors and in different tongues, in different languages.
Yes, ما شاء الله. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أيضا يقول في سورة أخرى: ولو شاء الله لجعلكم أمة واحدة.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in another surah that if He wanted to, He could have made you one ummah, He could have made you one community with no differences.
لكن الله جل وعلا أراد أن كل واحد منا يكون مختلف عن الآخر، مسلم، يهودي، نصراني، حتى الملحد أراد الله جل وعلا أن يكون في الكون ملحدين.
But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He intended that we are all different. So some of us are Muslims, some of us are Christians, some of us are even atheists. But even that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intended that those people exist and live in this universe.
أعطى الله جل وعلا لكل واحد منا حرية الاختيار، فمن شاء أن يكون مسلما فله ذلك، ومن شاء أن يكون يهوديا أو نصرانيا أو ملحدا فله ذلك.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the freedom of choice, so if we wish to be Muslim, we can be Muslim. But we also have freedom to choose in other religions, whether we want to be Christian or atheist, etc.
لكن هذا الاختلاف ينبغي أن يكون قوة دافعة لنا جميعا.
But these differences, it's imperative that they bring us together and they increase in our power and our strength.
خصوصا وأننا نعيش في بلد واحد، في وطن واحد، في مكان واحد.
In particular because we live in the same country as members of the same community and in one place.
لذلك نصيحتي للجميع: كن ما شئت واعبد ما شئت، لكن ينبغي أن تحترم الآخرين.
So his advice is that you can worship whom you wish and that you can be whom you will, but the most important thing is that we respect each other and our differences.
آخر شيء إحنا بنعتبر كمسلمين إن أفضل إنسان في هذا الكون الذي يجمع بين أمرين.
And we as Muslims, we believe that the best person is a person who brings together two characteristics, and those are.
Yes. Number one, رقم واحد أن تكون علاقتك بالله جيدة.
رقم one, that your relationship with your Lord is a positive and a strong one.
رقم اثنين.
Number two.
Yes. أن تكون علاقتك بالناس جيدة.
That your relationship with other people is also strong and well.
بغض النظر الناس دول مسلمين أو غير مسلمين، من نفس الدين أو من دين آخر، من نفس الخلفية بتاعتك أو whatever.
Regardless of whether you share the same religion or whether you do not share the same religion or the same ethnicity, etc.
لذلك الميزة اليوم أننا جميعا مختلفون ومع ذلك نجلس في مكان واحد.
And that is our advantage today, which is that although we are all different, we're all sitting in the same location.
شكرا جزيلا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Okay, I'm back. Jazakallah khair, Dr. Akram. That was a nice training session for myself. But it's not the first time, so we were able to get through that. Next, I want to introduce New York Senator Michael Gineris of the 12th Senate District. And Senator Michael Gineris, he serves as the Deputy Majority Leader, and he proudly represents Western Queens. And Senator Gineris is a progressive champion for tenants' rights, better subways, election reforms, a fair criminal justice system, equality, and ending unfair economic development policies. And Michael Gineris.
Assalamu alaikum. Want to translate that? Thank you, and I want to wish everyone a Ramadan Mubarak. This is probably my 4th or 5th IFTAR of this season because there is, as you know, a very strong Muslim community in this part of Queens, and I'm privileged to represent. I want to thank you especially for having this event 3 blocks from my home so that I can get home very quickly after this is over. My wife is waiting for me. I took to heart the words that we just heard because it was large elements of what I wanted to communicate to you about what I love about New York, what I love about Queens, is that people come here from all over the world, and they're very different people. My parents are immigrants too. They came from Greece many years ago. And when they first came here, the community was not always that welcoming, and they had to struggle like so many immigrants struggle to be members of their new community. But what we do in Queens is we value that. We honor each other's traditions, we honor each other's religions, we honor each other's cultures, and we all become stronger because we learn from each other. And that's why these events to me are the best part of my job. I just came from a Nepali New Year event in Jackson Heights, and now I'm here at an IFTAR with all of you. Greek Easter is Sunday, so this is what we do in Queens. Every day is another reason for people to celebrate and come together and learn from each other and become better people. And when you heard the words about the important things to respect each other and to love each other and love your neighbors, no matter where they come from or what they believe, as long as they are respectful of each other. That's what we believe here in New York. And so it's a great privilege for me to be a part of that, to serve with leaders like the ones you're going to hear from shortly, Jessica Gonzalez-Rojas, Zoran Mamdani. Even within politics, we have people from every religion and every background, and that is what makes us so special. It's one of the only places in the world where you can say that, and that's why we believe New York is the best place in the world. So thank you all very, very much. Please, again, have a Ramadan Mubarak, and I look forward to being with you again very soon. Thank you.
Okay, I'm also back. Next person we're going to introduce is Tahir Abdul Hadi. He is a very special member of MAS New York. He's actually the executive director and is overseeing all the events here. So I want to give him a big special welcome.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome everybody. It's always an honor and pleasure to join you in this Interfaith Iftar. It's one of my favorite ones to attend. We have a couple of them across the city, but this one is extra special. Always smiling faces and welcoming eyes whenever I'm up here to see you. I just want to correct something. The sister said that I oversee the programs over here. I cannot take credit for all of the amazing work happening in Mass Queens, Sister Sadet, and our imams and our leadership. You know, they're the ones that are really putting in, and our youth, mashallah, they're really putting in a lot of effort to bring these programs to the community. Alhamdulillah, you know, we're on the last third of Ramadan. Time is flying by. I was just telling one of the brothers, I can't believe there's only 6 days left to fasting. But one of the most special things about Ramadan, obviously, you know, they talk about the health benefits, they talk about everything that's, you know, the supplemental great stuff about fasting. but really it is a time to reconnect with God. And it's a time to really sit and think about your life. And I'm reminded of a story where there was a man who's actually a friend of a friend, and he was really at a bad stage of his life. Having troubles with his family, having troubles with his faith. And he was walking in a marketplace, and he heard some verses of Quran playing. And the verse that he heard, there was a verse that فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Where are you going? And he said this man said, I heard this verse and it hit me like a ton of bricks. He's like, where am I going? He said, so right now, physically, where am I going? And then he said, I'm going someplace where I shouldn't be right now. And then he thought about his life. And then he thought about his connection with God and his connection with his family, with his wife, with his kids, in his community. And it's a reminder really to us, whatever faith we are, maybe taking some time and thinking about where we are in life, where we are with our families, with our connection with God, with our place in society. And one thing that all of our faiths share is that one amazing way to connect with the Creator is by service to His creation. And when keeping this in mind, we find so many opportunities for our different faiths to work together and work within society and work for the community, for all of the people that are struggling and that need our support and need our help. And I think when we look past the differences within our faith, and these are big differences, but these are stuff that's between us and God. Everything else within society, within the struggles that we have, within the things that we find enjoyable, or the habits that we may have, a lot of it is very, very similar, whatever faith you are. So when we look at this, and then we look at the joint causes and the joint efforts that we must have to make a difference in society, I think when we think in this mindset, we all can make a big difference within our communities. And beyond that, of course, I'll circle back to our connection with God. فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Where are we going? Where is my connection with God, with my family, with the community? Thank you.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Fahir. It's definitely true that faith definitely grounds us and keeps us going in life, no matter where we are in our lives or any point that we have to face. The next speaker that I want to introduce is a very special one. She has great credentials, and it makes me wonder, what am I doing with my life? But the next person here is Toby Ann Stavisky. She is the first woman from Queens County elected to the State Senate and the first woman to chair the Senate Committee on Higher Education. She is a native New Yorker, and she has been involved in the community with improving our schools, programs for older adults, social justice, opportunities for new Americans, and assisting small businesses. So please welcome Toby Ann Stavisky.
Salam alaikum, and thank you for the invitation. I am new to this area as a result of redistricting. I represent parts of Astoria also, but I have been in the Senate for many years, and my previous district included Flushing. And Flushing is in many ways as diverse as Astoria is. First, let me thank Sister Sadet for her work with young people. Before I was elected to the Senate, I was a high school social studies teacher. And I chair the Committee on Higher Ed. So I understand how important it is for young people to have a sense of heritage, of belonging, a sense of where their families came from. I am the daughter of an immigrant also. My father was born in Latvia, in Riga, and came to the United States when he was about 12 years old. And he became a teacher because we had a system of education that provided opportunity, and we want to make sure that these opportunities are available for young people today. I'm really speaking to the students here. But in terms of the question that was asked at the beginning, what we all have in common and what's divided, what we have in common is greater than our differences. And I think we have to respect, but at the same time learn about our heritage. And that's why I was a history teacher, that we teach secular subjects in school, but religious subjects as well, in the home and in the mosques and so forth. I have celebrated a number of IFTAR during Ramadan, not just this year, but in the past. My Senate district starts in Astoria and goes all the way to the Nassau County line and through Queens Village and Belrose and all of those areas with so many mosques and so many other institutions as well. So I thank you. I wish you a very meaningful and productive Ramadan, and if you have any questions or if there's any way I can be of service, YL Abdullah from my office is sitting over there, and we're listed in the phone book, so to speak. I don't think we use phone books anymore, but you can find it online. So again, I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I would like to introduce next Assembly Member Jessica Gonzalez Rojas, and of the 34th Assembly District. And should I read and this includes the diverse communities of Astoria, Corona, East Elmhurst, Jackson Heights, and Woodside in Queens County. Assembly Member Jessica has dedicated her life to fighting for immigrant rights, for racial justice, healthcare access, labor power, and gender equity, while forging connections between various progressive movements. But I think we'll let her speak for herself now.
Also have to lower the mic. Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. I am so thrilled to be here. I've celebrated many iftars already this month, and it's incredibly special to be here because this is also part of my new district. I represent Jackson Heights, East Elmhurst, Corona, Woodside, and now Astoria, and I've been working alongside many leaders in the Muslim community here in Astoria, and have felt a lot of love and a lot of welcome from so many of you. So thank you so much for inviting me. I think about this time also as reflection and as an interfaith iftar. I think about what it means to break bread. And when we break bread, we really share a lot of ourselves. I think about family, I think about community, and that's who we are and what we represent here in Astoria and here at this mosque. I think about the words that were shared by our doctor here and many who have spoken before us about reflection and community, and that caring for one another is integral in our vision for social justice and political empowerment in our neighborhoods. As was mentioned in my bio, I have been dedicated to the fight for gender justice, for economic justice, for housing justice, to ensure that everyone feels at home in their communities. And this feels incredibly like home, and I'm really, really grateful for the leadership, particularly the leadership of so many women here. I'm really grateful, and I want to bring up Sister Sadet because I have a citation for her, and any other members of the leadership of the Mosque New York of Queens. So any other executive leaders can come up, and I want to present this proclamation. So I have a proclamation from the New York State Assembly, which congratulates the Muslim American Society of New York, the Queens chapter, in celebration of the Ramadan Interfaith Iftar, with gratitude for your contributions in building power. Building power is so central in the work that we all do. building power, building leadership, and democratic engagement of the Muslim community to achieve positive change in New York State. So thank you so much for your leadership. Thank you for hosting this event and bringing together folks of diverse faiths. I identify as a cultural Catholic. I'm a Latina. My great-grandmother is Syrian, so I have a little Arab blood in myself, but and with you all. So thank you so much, and we'll just take a picture together. So Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you, Jessica Gonzalez, for those beautiful words. Next speaker we're going to introduce is Chaplain Shamel Lawrence. He is a part of the Bethel Gospel Assembly, a proud husband of Denise Lawrence, proud father of 3 to Darian, Chanel Jr., and Marcella. Chaplain Shamel Lawrence actually enjoys serving his country and community, and he's also one of the directors for spiritual care of Northwell Home. So please welcome Chaplain Shamel.
Salam alaikum. As I stand here today, I heard everything that's been said, and there are many differences that we do have. But I'll tell you, one thing that we must not do is hide our faith. Our faith, no matter what it is, we should never be ashamed of it. When I took over and being one of the spiritual directors, that was my biggest challenge, believe it or not. And looking here today, I'm proud because under my leadership, I managed to bring in 5 imams from the Muslim faith. We got them into our hub and hospital network to be pastoral care. Now, most people don't understand the importance of our pastoral care in the community and the hospital. When somebody goes to the hospital to be healed, the doctors take care of them physically. But what about the faith and the soul? That's why we wanted to make sure that when everybody, no matter what walk or what faith you had, your religion person would be there to serve you, to pray for you, to get you through whatever you're going through. And that was one of my biggest accomplishments. I'm proud of the work that I have done. There's plenty more to do. And that ties into community and partnership. So I encourage you guys here tonight in this March, connect with your local hospital. See, do they have anybody on duty that could minister to the Muslim religion when they are in time of sickness? I'm proud to stand here. I mean, I thank you for the invite. And like I said, you know, I'm here to work with everybody because, like the doctor said, different, but service. That's what we will be judged by when that calling comes. So I thank you, and then I'll be right here, and I hope some of you come up and talk. If not, I will come to you. God bless you, and remember, don't hide your faith.
Thank you very much, Chaplain. Next up, I'll be introducing somebody that I'm sure by now is not a stranger, and that is Assembly Member Zohran Mumdani. Zohran Mumdani, he fights every day for a future where each and every New Yorker can live a dignified life and where the distribution of that dignity is not determined by the market. And at a time where almost a quarter of our neighbors here across Astoria spend half their income on rent, and when we breathe the most polluted air in Queens, and when we are profiled the highest, Zahran believes in a future where everyone deserves equal housing, energy, and justice for the many and not for the few. Zahran Mumdani, with no further ado.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dr. Akram is an inspiration. درست عربية في القاهرة بس مش ممكن أتكلم بالعربي. That's all I have with me. But if we want, Marwan can come back up and do some translation. Salam everyone, my name is Zahran. I used to have the privilege of representing this masjid in the New York State Assembly. I passed that on to Assembly Member Gonzalez Rojas. They moved me a little bit south. The more you talk, the more they move you. And I talk a lot. So I represent parts of Astoria, parts of Long Island City, and I'm proud to be the third Muslim to have ever served in the New York State Assembly. It is my job to tell all of my colleagues that we cannot drink water during Ramadan. Every time they're shocked. And now everyone texts me and asks me when Eid is going to be, and I have to let them know. But it is so lovely to be here, and I really want to thank Sister Sadat for all of the work that she has done and that Mass has done. This is a home for so many in our neighborhood and beyond. And Mass provides that same belonging for Muslims and beyond just the Muslim community across New York City. So it's really an honor to be here. And I think especially during the holiest month of Ramadan, I have the most difficult job of being between you and Maghrib, but I'm going to still persevere through. I think of the hadith from Prophet Muhammad of, if there is food for one, then there is food for two. And if there is food for two, then there is food for four. So much of our work in Albany is to make sure that we understand there is abundance, that there is always enough. It is simply a question of if we are ready and willing to give people what they deserve. You know, Jessica and myself, we often face this politics of scarcity, and I think back to that hadith to remember the politics of abundance. Because I'm proud to be a Muslim, and I'm proud to take those kinds of teachings to Albany to make it clear to all of our colleagues that we as a people of this community, as a people of this faith, we believe that every person deserves dignity. One of the most beautiful things in Ramadan is when we have an iftar, everyone is welcome to come. We do not discriminate on the basis of whether they are our brother, our sister, or a stranger to us that we have never met before. So with all of that, I just want to end by saying, in this politics of solidarity, I would also like to take a moment to remember the members of our Muslim community who are not as fortunate as we are today, to be here in peace, to be here in safety, to be here in community. And I think especially of our family in Palestine. And I think of what's been happening at Al-Aqsa, I think of what's been happening in the West Bank, I think of Gaza, I think of East Jerusalem. And I think it's important that while we are Muslims, we are also Americans. And as this country continues to give $3.8 billion every year to Israel in military aid, that we make our feelings clear. That is not something that we stand for, that we fight against that. And it is something that I wanted to make sure to mention today before we break fast. So thank you all so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Brother Zahran. Next, I'm going to introduce a very special member of our youth community. Her name is Jannah. Where is your last name? Sorry, Jannah Umran. There's many Jannahs in this community, if you didn't know. But she will be presenting a very special spoken word that revolves around unity and community. She is a student at Hunter College, and she enjoys literature and believes that good writing can cause incredible things. Tonight, she wants to emphasize the importance of unity and community with her spoken word, so please welcome Jannah.
Assalamu alaikum. Just like Shafaya just said, my name is Jannah, and I will be reading a poem today that I titled Togetherness. And I think that Ramadan is not only a time where it's a connection between you and God, it's a connection between you and others and communities. So here is Togetherness. In a month as such, there is spiritual plenitude in the air, submission in our stride, and constraint in our days. The nur in our faces with the veils on our heads, the sweets on our tongues with the water in our veins. To describe this word in a month, it would overtly be special. A month where our ears envelop the sounds of Amen, our tongues complete pages upon pages upon pages. When every footstep driven by adults and children alike towards a place of worship, of peace, of significance, the month of significance, Ramadan. A month where dua is strong amongst the mouths of believers. When Laylatul Qadr takes title for a night of power, night of virtue. Such power is seen in this month, and it resonates with the believers. Our community is hand in hand. There must be a sense of hope strung in the air, with laughter and delight amongst each footstep. Grace taking strides during these nights. And look to your neighbor and grin, for it is with others that joy must be found, and hope is restored. Become awake in the middle of the night and show thanks for being a part of this month, for experiencing Ramadan together this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Jannah, for that amazing spoken word. Right now, we actually have to break our fast soon, so if you can all help yourselves to the food we have here, and some of us will be breaking for prayer. So feel free, if you are not praying, to line up for the food that we have. And we should actually return because we have a couple of more speakers and more presentations for you. So we'll see you back, inshallah.
So there's 2 minutes till iftar, and Zohran Mumdani reminded me that the punchline for the joke in the beginning, for those who were there, for what do an imam, a chaplain, a senator, a rabbi, and a priest have in common, is that they're all hungry. So thank you. Yes, inshallah, we're going to be breaking our fast in 2 minutes. When we do, you guys help yourself to some food, even for some of us are going to be heading. I'll repeat the joke after this. So some of us will be heading to pray, but don't worry about us, indulge, and so we can expedite the process as well for those who come back and get food. Jazakumullah khair. And repeat the joke? Okay, I'll repeat the joke one last time. So the joke was, if I remember the order correctly, what do an imam, a rabbi, a priest, a senator, an assembly member have in common? And the punchline was, they're all hungry. So,